Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I'm Harrison Graham from Chat Sports. ESPN has ranked all 32 NFL rosters, and they have the Chiefs as the second best projected roster heading into training camps. Now, they had strengths, weaknesses, X factors, plus projecting starting lineups for the offense and the defense. So we're going to react to all that here on today's show. And I want to challenge you guys. Our record for this month so far this year in likes on a single video, 1,456. Can we top that number? Can we hit 1,500 likes on today's show? I think we can. Hit that like button if you're with me and you want to get to 1,500. All right, let's start with the biggest strength, quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. No surprise here, right? Like, if you're going through every single roster and you're talking about a team's biggest strength, this is probably the easiest one in the entire NFL. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is obviously the biggest asset to this entire franchise right now. Now, some people would say Andy Reid. Sure, I understand he's a part of it. But when you're just looking at the roster, Mahomes is the biggest strength, which is why last year, even though the offense struggled at times throughout the year, you trusted as long as you got to the playoffs, he was going to make enough plays to win. And that is what happened. He's off to a historic start to his career. The guy is just, he's earned that reputation with his play, with his accolades, with his winning. I mean, you think about what he's accomplished. This is like a high-level Hall of Fame resume, and he's, 28, 29 years old, 3 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 regular season MVPs, 6 AFC Championship appearances, 15-3 in the playoffs overall. I think he's 74-22 in the regular season. Like, this is a career, and he's done that before the age of 30. This is the best player in the league in terms of his ability on the field, in terms of his what he's accomplished up to this point, where he's at in his career. So, yes, it's pretty easy when you're breaking down the Chiefs roster. What is their biggest strength? Yeah, it's number 15. That guy with the jersey that says Mahomes on the back of it, yeah, he's the biggest strength. We can kind of just check that box and go to the next one. Show QB1 some love. Get the 15s going down in the comment section below. Patrick Mahomes, you are the biggest strength of this football team. All right, let's go to the biggest weakness, offensive tackle. And ESPN's Mike Clay didn't just point to left tackle, really the unit as a whole, talking about the right side as well. Here's what he had to say. He said, Kansas City has done a lot of right in recent years, but the 4-year, $80 million extension handed to right tackle Jawaan Taylor last offseason remains a major head-scratcher. An even larger concern is left tackle. With Donovan Smith out and the likes of Wanya Morris, a 2023 third-round pick who played 324 snaps, Lucas Niang, 67 snaps over the past 2 seasons, and rookie Kingsley Suamataia competing for the job. And look, I agree with Mike Clay. Now, I've said I think the Jawaan Taylor situation's fine at right tackle. Is he worth $20 million a year? Absolutely not. But every team's going to have a bad contract here and there. Like, he's at least a solid player on that side when he's not getting penalized. Like, if it's a standard play, you trust him over there. But I've said it. I continue to say it. I'm concerned about the left tackle position. I just am. I don't think Wanya Morris is ready to be a full-time starter. Kingsley Suamataia has tools, but he's pretty raw. Like, he needs a year probably to sit. It's why we've explored the David Bakhtiaris, the bringing back Donovan Smiths, these veteran options of the world, because really the only time Patrick Mahomes has gotten, quite frankly, embarrassed in a Super Bowl is when they couldn't protect him because they were so banged up against the Bucs that one year. Like, that's how you beat the Chiefs, is getting pressure with 4. And I think teams will have a chance to do that with this left tackle situation. So if I'm Kansas City, I'm looking to lock that position down with at least a serviceable option. At least get another body into the mix and increase the level of competition. All right, X Factor, they pointed to 2 wide receivers, a free agent addition, and Xavier Worthy as well. Here's Mike Clay once again. He says, receivers Marquise Brown and Xavier Worthy. The Chiefs won Super Bowl 58 with a major weakness at wide receiver, but don't forget that this team struggled on offense for most of that season. Last season, Kansas City needed reinforcements at the position. Brown and Worthy are it. Whether they can deliver remains to be seen. You guys know me. I've been pretty bullish on the Marquise Brown signing. I think he's going to fit in well. He's been a good, not great player through the first 5 years of his career, and you don't need him to be great, but his speed, his ability to separate down the field is something the Chiefs have not had the last couple of years without Tyreek Hill. And, you know, Mahomes and Reed have talked about it, bringing the deep ball back into this offense. Marquise Brown can provide that, and so can Xavier Worthy out of Texas, who had a great year last year for the Horns. We've talked about his punt return ability as well. But strictly as a offensive unit, these two guys, the X factor here is the speed that they provide. These are sub 4.3 guys, especially Worthy. We ran a 4.21 at the NFL Combine. Marquise Brown can burn as well. They track the ball well in the air. I think these two guys are going to open up the offense again. Whereas the last couple of years, you know, Mahomes has really had to grow as kind of just a quick pass quarterback. And, you know, I think that's only going to pay dividends now that they can open things up again, in theory, with these two burners. And, you know, the Chiefs early on, Mahomes mastered the kind of off-kilter plays, the downfield throwing the last couple of years, kind of more of a Tom Brady Patriots offense, kind of a run and shoot, get the ball out. If they can open up the deep ball again, that means they have everything at their disposal, and that should really scare teams, especially if they can protect Mahomes up front. Get yourself an Xavier Worthy jersey at chatsports.com/Worthy. I think he's going to be a fun player in this offense. That link is in the comments and in the description of this video, chatsports.com/Worthy. All right, last one here before we get to ESPN's projected starting lineups. Non-starter to know Leo Chenal. Just quick spiel here. And I agree with this one. One, he will play a good amount in base sets, 4-3, occasionally rotate in and nickel as well. He's not great in coverage, so, you know, they want to limit his nickel snaps when he's only one of the two linebackers out there. But he's a thumper. He's a good downhill player who's gotten to play a decent amount the last couple of years. And with Willie Gay out of the fold, you got Nick Bolton and obviously Drue Tranquill. Chenal's that clear third guy now, so they need him to be reliable, especially against the run. So he's a player, and I would argue a bit of an X factor on defense, especially for a guy who's probably not going to start. Subscribe to the channel for the latest Chiefs news, rumors, and more. All offseason long. Training camp will get going next month. We'll have that coverage as well. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you never miss a video here on the Chiefs Report. All right, let's now get to ESPN's projected starting lineups for both the offense and the defense. We'll start with the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, Isiah Pacheco at running back. They project Rashee Rice, Marquise Brown, Xavier Worthy. Obviously, a Rice suspension could change things early on in the year, but, you know, when he's available, those are the projected starters from ESPN. I agree with it. Travis Kelce, obviously, the tight end. And then the offensive line, they project Wanya Morris to be that week one left tackle. And look, if there's no addition, I'd probably agree. Unless Sua Matai just clearly beats him out in camp, they'd probably opt with the guy who got a little bit of experience last year. Obviously, Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith on the interior, and then Jawaan Taylor over at right tackle. Defensive side of the ball, you've got George Karlaftis squeezed by Chris Jones, Derrick Nnadi on the interior, and then Mike Danna. They did have the note of Charles and Menahue. He's just not expected to be ready week one. Once he's healthy, I would expect him to start, and Danna probably be that third defensive end, so keep that in mind. Nick Bolton, Drue Tranquill, your two linebackers. The defensive lineup set up as nickel base, which a lot of teams run. Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Josh Williams. And then Justin Reed and Brian Cook at safety. I do want to make this note at corner. Jamari Connor has started or gotten a lot of starting nickel reps during OTAs and minicamp. So Josh Williams is kind of a wild card there. Like, if he and Watson start, that probably means they keep McDuffie at nickel. But Spags says they want to put McDuffie more on the outside. And if that's the case, I don't think Josh Williams is built to play nickel. Jalen Watson's been good on the outside, so they're going to keep him there. So I think Connor would be the nickel with Josh Williams kind of as that number 4 corner. So keep that in mind as we kind of get into training camp and they mix and match in that back end. All right, grade the Chiefs 2024 roster. What do you guys think? A, B, C, D, or F? Pretty good unit. Number 2 overall per ESPN. I was a little surprised by that. Like, I figured it'd be top 5, but there's a couple of spots, corner, offensive line, where it's like, okay, close the gaps there. Only the 49ers had the better overall roster, which I agreed with in the Super Bowl last year. But when you got the better quarterback, you got a chance to win those type of games, which the Chiefs, of course, did. All right, appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, like this video, trying to get to 1,500 likes to set a record for this month. we would greatly appreciate it. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll see you guys later. Peace.